Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah. All right, Davis, let's move on to some baseball here, my friend. It is almost that time. Spring training is up and going. I believe the Phillies' first spring training game is tomorrow afternoon. Um, big upcoming week of baseball. Davis, let's just get right into this. We had a bit of a little argument in our group chat this week about the Phillies lineup. If you're looking on the YouTube, you can see that it's been said online, it's been said a lot of places that Alec Boehm is the projected cleanup hitter. Um, However you may feel about that, that is likely going to happen.
Mhm.
How I feel about it, though, is I don't like it at all. Our buddy Jason had a couple of very strong opinions on it, and I love that he is so passionate about it because I hope that he is right. I'm just in the point where like Alec Boehm is not going to get better. I just don't think so. He might get back to where he was a couple of years ago, but he's not going to like take another leap. He's not going to hit another level. He's a fine hitter. He actually played pretty well in the Dodgers series last year. He was like one of the
Yeah.
only players that played pretty well in that series. But like before that, he wasn't great in the Mets series. He's been off and on in playoffs.
Mhm.
He's a fine fielder. He's gotten a lot better, but I don't even hate his bat, dude. He's not a cleanup hitter in my opinion. And then I want you to explain this to me and the audience. One of your points and Jason's points was that he just protects guys in the lineup. I just think that's a silly argument just because Bohm needs the protection more than Harper needs it, more than other guys need it. I just want you to explain like Rob Thompson's rationale and then why you think it's a good or bad idea.
No, I don't think it's that Bohm needs the protection per se. It's that he's protecting Schwarber and Harper. He's protecting our potentially $1 billion investment in Trey Turner, Kyle
Mhm.
Schwarber, and Bryce Harper,
It is.
because he's a guy that isn't going to strike out very often, and to be honest, he's not. I mean, last year he did, but in recent years he wasn't really rolling in the ground double plays very often.
Yeah.
So I the cleanup hitter, in my opinion, these days, I don't want to see a guy who hits 50 home runs and strikes out 200 times. Like, I'd rather see a guy like Alec Boehm, if he pulls a full season together, of 40 doubles, 25 homers, 100 ribbies, and he gets on base and he walks. He walks a
100
lot.
ribbies would be great.
That's a huge part of it, is his vision. I mean, in that Dodgers series, I mean, one of his biggest attributes is his vision, being able to see the
Mhm.
ball come through. And if we have a guy like Schwarber on third and Harper on first, I don't want Alec Boehm striking out. You know what I mean? Making it two
Yeah.
outs in the lineup. And now we've got Brandon Marsh going up against a lefty. Like,
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that having potentially a Aroldis Garcia at the cleanup spot, which is, I know you feel a type of way about it, and I think a lot of other people do too. Like, he's a guy who's probably going to strike out like 180 times, maybe even 200 in a
Garcia.
healthy season. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't walk as much. Yes, he might hit 30 homers this year, which is going to be more than Bohm, but the
Yeah.
home run stat doesn't mean much to me. Like, I want to
No?
see not not on a consistent basis. Like, I would
Okay.
rather see if Garcia hits 30 homers and Bohm hits 20, like, Bohm's still going to have 30 more walks, 30 less strikeouts, and
Fair.
possibly 20 to 15 extra doubles. Like, I'd rather see that at my 4 spot, getting these guys in that are on base.
That's totally fair. And that's the name of the game with baseball is getting on base rather than home runs and ribbies, which are great. And RBIs are a big, thing. But I don't know. I just think it speaks to the lack of depth on this team. And it speaks to the Phillies were missing a piece this offseason. And you can talk about Casty. You can talk about missing a Bobichette, which looks good. But it just feels like this team is missing something. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for the Phillies. I'm excited for baseball. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that the Phillies' projected win total is about 92 wins this year, which I'll take that, especially if we're winning the division. But it just feels like we're lacking a certain power. Maybe that is because Bryce Harper had a down year. Maybe it's because Brandon Marsh was horrible last year. The fact that he's batting fifth is maybe more egregious than Bohm batting fourth.
Yeah, this lineup is clearly showing a righty pitcher, by the way. So Marsh
Yes.
would not be hitting fifth against a lefty, and JT would probably be much higher up. But yes, I agree. I do think this team is still missing something. Everyone's going to talk about the bullpen. I think the Phillies actually have a pretty decent bullpen in comparison to other years and other contenders right now. I think
Yeah.
every team talks about how their bullpen looks weak on paper. But yeah, I agree. The bottom half of this lineup is kind of what's scaring me. But if I think about it,
I like Justin Crawford a lot, by the way.
yeah, Justin Crawford, I'm curious to see what he can do. Like
Yeah.
if he really is, honestly, like the easy term would be the better Rojas, like that would be great.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I think that this team, if they don't pick up the pieces by the middle of the year, I could be looking for a splash in left field or second base. Like that could be coming. But Bo Bichette, by the way, I saw this stat this week. I didn't realize this. He's like the 4th highest paid baseball player in MLB history. The more I've thought about that, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to pay all that money for Bo Bichette. Like,
No.
you know what I
How
mean?
has he
Like,
gotten that much money? How old is he? I thought this was his first free agency.
no, but like per year, like he's making like
Okay.
like almost $60 million a year. I'm pretty
He
sure.
must have a great arbitration
crazy.
lawyer.
No, he just signed with the Mets. Like he signed.
No, I know, but he's made money over the. You're saying like going forward then? On
This contract, like this
Gotcha.
contract is like
Gotcha.
his per year is like 4th all time.
Understood. But in terms of the rest of the Phillies, Justin Crawford, I really am excited about him. He has not hit like under like some crazy stat like 300 his whole like baseball career. Obviously, that he's going to take it up to the ultimate level of the major leagues. Like it's not going to be like that. But I'm excited for him. I hope Stott can get it together, man. He was such a promising player coming into his tenure with the Phillies a couple of years ago, and he's a great fielder. It's just the bat was terrible at the end of the year last year, just terrible.
Yep.
So I'm excited for some of these guys to show us what they got and come to life, especially Bryce Harper. We need Bryce Harper to show that he's an MVP. Whether he's been slighted or not, it's time for him to show who the hell MB3 is, right?
Yep. No, I agree. And it's very disappointing to see how the offseason transpired with was it Middleton? Or no, it was Dombrowski saying that Harper's not elite. Look, Bryce Harper is not elite anymore. I'm sorry. But why would you ever say that? Why would you ever put that out in the media? Like,
do you think it's hard for Bryce Harper? You think Bryce Harper can't get back to an elite level?
I guess when I think of elite, I'm looking at Bryce Harper like 2017, like Washington Nationals, where he's hitting like 330, he's hitting 40 dingers. No, I don't think he's ever going to touch those numbers.
But what about his Phillies prime?
Yeah, his Phillies prime was fantastic. Like, I guess my question is, do I think he's ever going to do that again? Probably not. But that's okay. But that's okay. Like, he's going to do better. I think he's going to play much better than he did last year.
Yeah.
Like, there's still, like, his high leverage last year was still really good. Like, it's some of the low leverage situations where, you still see him swinging and missing out of the zone, and you see him grounding over balls. But
he was terrible in the playoff series.
He can definitely still put up 30 homers, 100 ribbies, bat 285, 290. Like, I think that's the direction this team needs to go. And it's not him needing to hit 50 homers, because Kyle Schwarber already does that for us. So I think he just needs to be a team player. He's obviously got the defense at first base to hold his own. So if he can hold his own at the 3 spot of the lineup every day, yeah, I would love to see that.
And then how do you feel about like the pitching staff? Well, we can lump in the starters and the bullpen together. I love Sanchez. I'm really excited for Andrew Painter, but then I look at Nola and Walker and I cringe a little bit. Nola's fine, whatever. But Walker, I don't want him in this rotation like at all.
Yeah, that's definitely scary to look at. Like, I've actually, to be honest with you, I've actually been a little higher on Taijuan Walker as the year went on last year. He pitched a little bit better towards the end of the year. He was a good bullpen
pitcher.
Yeah, and he was great out of the long reliever spot of the bullpen. And Nola started to pitch a lot better towards the end of the year. So it's whether you're going to get the best of these guys or you're going to get what we saw as the worst, which is Taijuan having almost a 9 ERA to start the year, or Nola absolutely just throwing batting practice in April last year. So I think that I'm hoping for the best, but I truly believe, and I've told you this, I think Jesus Luzardo is, because he's gotten on a contract year this year. I think he's going to do something special this year. Like, I think he could end up we could be talking mid-year about who's having the better season, Christopher Sanchez or Jesus Luzardo.
Now that's fun conversation.
I agree.
Throwing Zach Wheeler.
100%, Zach. Wheeler's
Yeah.
coming back earlier than expected, which should be May. We were talking 4th of July when this whole thing started. So I think
That would
the
be
starting rotation's great.
Yeah.
The bullpen, as I said before, like everyone's talking about how their bullpen kind of sucks, but I think these guys, like having Duran in there from the start of the year, I think is going to be such a huge
I
difference.
agree. Yeah.
Having Jordan Romano off this team, a guy who you couldn't send down, a guy who was just stuck
Yeah.
in the bullpen for 162 games. That's great. You get Alvarado now off Ozempic. He said he's going to be there for 162 years.
You
Tanner
hope so.
Banks, honestly, one of the best underrated
He was
lefties
great.
in the
He
entire
was
league
great.
last year.
Yep.
And then we picked up Brad Keller coming off a career year with the Cubs last year.
Zach
Zach
right?
Pop. Yeah, Zach Pop coming from the Diamondbacks. He just struck out Harper in inter squad game I just saw
Did
the
he?
other day.
I saw
Harper
that
was
too.
like, that was nasty. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see some nice bullpen stuff. But I want to quickly, before we overlook it,
Sure.
we've got Amir in the chat. This is a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Lane management's not Topper's fault. Now, this was you had talked about this week in our group chat. So I would like to give the floor to you for a few minutes, just about like
I regret some things that I said.
Ahead,
I'll just start off with that. I didn't.
Well, give some context. What I forget what was even how it was brought up, but
I just basically said that I didn't love that Topper was brought back this season because of some of the lineup decisions in the playoffs down the stretch. I just feel like he gets way too experimental, and he just wants to stick to his lefty righty, lefty righty, lefty righty. And hey, I don't hate that at all. It's just like there were some times down the stretch, especially with pitching staff decisions, when he would take out a pitcher where like I'm questioning it and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And if I think I'm be like, what the hell is he doing? I'm not really like taking it too legit. But then if I see you saying what the hell he's doing, I'm like, okay, if Davis thinks so too, there's something up. And there was a lot of decisions, not just last season, the season before, the Diamondback series 2 years ago. Like Topper's a great manager. He's a great vibes guy. He's a great bench coach. I don't know if he's I don't know. I don't want to say something that's too bad that you're like, I'm going to really regret this if the Phillies win a World Series this year.
I'm waiting for you to say it so I can just clip it right after the show.
I just don't think Rob Thompson is a World Series winning manager. I don't know. I'm getting to that point where like, I really thought Topper was the guy 2 years ago. I thought he was the guy. And the Diamondback series really let me down. But I just think and for better or for worse, he stands by his guys, and you love that. We didn't hear a goddamn thing from him about Castellanos. He is a true vibes guy. That's honestly such a big priority that it kind of like helps his lack of ability with the lineups. He just feels like he's going to do what he wants before a game rather than looking at the matchups, looking at who's actually going to be across the diamond, who across the plate. Again, I do like Rob Thompson. He seems like the best guy. He really seems like a great dude. The guys love him. It's just, I don't know. There's just been a couple young guys that have kind of floundered under his time as well, like Stott and Bohm. And if you want to throw Marsh in there too. And, they weren't like tier 1 prospects, but I thought Bohm was going to be a little better. And, it's not the manager's job to make sure these guys develop, but like kind of a little. It's more on the hitting coach, it's more on the fielding coach, their specific, realm. I totally get that. I don't know. I don't know MLB managing too well. So like, I don't want to, fully jump on this hill. It's not the hottest take. It's not the coldest take. I'm just not a big fan of Rob Thompson. And I am fully willing to eat my words, by the way, in October, 100%. I'll come on this podcast and we'll play the clip and I'll stand here and I'll put on a clown nose. I'll paint my face. We can play laugh track in the background, all that good stuff. I'm cool with it. I don't know, man. It's just, I last year was so excited for the Phillies season to start. I was so excited for it. And this year I'm like, let's just get it underway already. Like let's just get me to middle of July and let's see where we're at. I don't know.
No, I think it's actually interesting. Especially as someone who played baseball, I truly I think the manager of a baseball team, especially in the MLB too, where these guys, I mean, they're very independent. This isn't Little League. Like this isn't, the manager moving little Johnny over from shortstop to right field because he has to get little Tommy over to first. You know what I mean? Like,
little.
whatever. Like, I think the most important thing about being an MLB manager is being a vibes guy.
Yeah,
Like seriously.
it is.
And I think that Rob Thompson has that knack. I
Mhm.
saw a stat and I'm doing some quick math. I had to confirm. Rob Thompson has been the manager of the Phillies for 4 seasons. We've made the playoffs 4 times. In the Phillies' entire franchise history, for the
No manager's ever done that.
139 years
No manager's ever done
without
that.
Rob Thompson, we only made the postseason 14 times. Like, you can say a lot about it. The Phillies sucked in the 40s. Like, I know the Phillies sucked in the 1940s, but Rob Thompson does make some wrong decisions, in my opinion, like bring in Craig Kimbrell in that Diamondback series multiple games in a row when we knew he was getting shelled.
That's the one that really sticks out to me, like the most.
Like
100%.
I remember when they pulled him in to Game 5, and then Alec Thomas hit a game-winning double. I think it was technically a single.
I knew it was over.
But it was an extra base hit, and now we're coming back to Philly for Game 6. Like that's a tough look. Like that's kind of a tough look because you're bringing in this veteran reliever who had to be on the roster because you paid him all this money.
Yep.
This is the Jordan Romano situation from last year.
A little worse, yeah.
We're in like the clear this year when it comes to something like this, unless for some reason like Yohan Duran starts to like
yeah.
Alvarado, all the guys we're paying big money to right now are performing. Like we don't have that dead weight of Nick Castellanos on our team anymore. Best of luck to him in San Diego.
He had a great diving catch at first today. I don't know if you saw that.
Good for him, man.
It's the first time he's ever played first, and it was a pretty good stop.
He's gonna do something great this year, and Phillies fans are gonna be like, "Oh, like why couldn't he do? Like why did we get rid of him? Like it was the right thing to do. He was eating so much cap on our team, and not only that, he was just holding a 26-man spot that now goes to Justin Crawford, someone who can actually develop, and we can make this team an all-around offense and defense because that's what you need. And I think Toppers is that guy. But I will also say he's on the hot seat. Like I think if the Phillies don't make the playoffs this year, he's probably the first to go.
Yeah, and I don't want to make this comparison too crazy, but there's another coach that we are a fan of that he did the right thing, won a lot of games, but he never won the big game.
Jimmy.
I'm just pointing out things. We're not pointing fingers here. I'm just
out. It's not a terrible comparison, but
also another team that hasn't played a game without a new coach yet. So
and the football again, like the baseball coach thing, in my opinion, like we brought in Don Mattingly for our bench coach. Like
I love that.
He's a generational vibes guy. Like that's the perfect person that we need on the bench, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just to keep these guys together. It's a long season, Ethan. Just remember, like, our conversation that we're having right now about vibes. Think about this locker room after a 3-game sweep at San Francisco, and then you have to go to Sacramento after. The locker room's crap. The locker room, they're like, oh, we just want to go home. Like, you got to keep it together for 162 games, and it's tough to do. But the Phillies, we need to be able to do that this year.
I agree, and that's why being a vibes guy is so important, because when it comes down to the end of the year, at the end of October, you need to be able to rely on the consistency they've built with your teammates over time, even if it's like some stupid pregame ritual where Harper and Schwarber are, eating sunflower seeds, a certain amount. Whatever they're doing, we need to make sure that we're continuing it. So I'm really excited for baseball season. We'll get into more of a general look at the entire league coming up. We'll maybe start doing divisions again. But I'm excited for the Phillies in terms of like just get me to October, and they're kind of getting to Sixers range where it's like I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And is Bryce Harper the new Joel Embiid?
No, he's not there yet. Well, take out this year, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Past Joel Embiid, not yet. No.
Transition.